What up, peeps? So today I'm here with a quick video on a potential Colossus buff, since he might potentially be getting buffed here soon, and he was also my vote in the community poll. So let's get right into it. So all these things I'm going to be talking about will be based on a 5-star Colossus, and this revamp would replace his current abilities in game. So actually, real quick, we're going to take a quick look at what he can do in game. And right now, so basically with his signature ability and his other two abilities in the game, whenever he's attacked and when he's attacking, he has a percent chance, a 7% chance, very low, to gain an armor up buff, which is pretty decent. It's actually a lot of armor, but it's very unlikely and not very reliable. But one cool thing is he has a special attacks, so they have increased damage based on his armor at the time, which I think is really cool. And he has that bleed immunity and a layer of armor passively. So that's decent, but I mean, they're making this revamp for a reason, because it's not much to work with. So here are my thoughts. So to begin with, I came up with the idea for organic steel. And some of these abilities I pulled from the ones in game, since I thought they were good. And I'm just going to rehash that. So organic steel, his armor provides him full bleed immunity. And then here's where the new stuff kicks in. Okay, so every 7 seconds, Colossus gains a permanent passive armor up buff, granting about 550 armor rating. And then it caps at a max of 6 stacks. So at total, that'd be about 3,300, which is intense. That includes, so what armor does is it reduces block damage, getting hit obviously, and it would make him a really great tank, which I feel fits with the design of Colossus. The next, when Colossus would gain a non-damaging debuff, he sacrifices a permanent armor buff to negate the effect. Now this means if he's hit with an armor break, a weakness, or anything like that, or stun, if he has an active armor buff, he would shrug the debuff and lose an armor up effect to negate the effect. It would be very similar to Agent Venom, to where he just shrugs it off. But hopefully they could design it to be a lot quicker than that, to where it's almost instantaneous. Then second, when Colossus gains a damaging debuff that isn't bleed, since he's already immune to it, he sacrifices 2 armor up buffs to negate the effect and become debuff immune for 8 seconds. Now, here's where this immunity starts to kick in. I feel like this would help Colossus be a utility guy when it comes to getting around certain damaging nodes that they put in quests now, like all these different crazy nodes that they come up with to affect your champions and try to work around it. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this aspect of his shrugging would not work against passive debuffs, only active ones. So keep that in mind as I'm going through his signature ability as well. Moving on to special attacks. So I kept what they had in game already, just buffed it up a little bit. So basically, special attack damage deals up to 150% damage based on his armor. And I made that just because it's going to take him 42 seconds to get to his max cap of armor, and that I feel like that will balance out. And his attacks, his special attacks, will also deal reduced damage while under the effects of armor break. And then his special attacks also have a 60% chance to inflict a concussion debuff, reducing opponent ability accuracy by 100% for 10 seconds. Now, sitting on this for a while, I didn't know if 100% was too much, but the idea of a metal man punching you in the face like a lot, it just makes sense to me that you won't be able to think properly. So this 60% chance increases based on the size of the opponent. So versus small, you get a plus 40% chance, pretty much guaranteeing the effect of the concussion. Versus medium, you have an 80% chance. Versus large, it's even 60, since he's also a large champion. And then versus extra large champions, Colossus is kind of out of his realm there, since he is a large champion. He's going against the big leagues there, so he has a 40% chance. And then the special attack 3 stuns the opponent for 4.5 seconds, which with Limber going on, it's still a decent stun for you to start another combo. And then with the parry mastery, that's a total of 5 seconds, I think, because parry adds half a second. So I just think that would add some utility to a special 3, and it also would inflict a concussion. So, and it would have some good synergy with his signature ability that you're going to see. So, signature ability would be called Still Will. Colossus gains armor buffs 25 to 40% faster. So this obviously would change based on his signature level. So at the very low end, he gains armor buffs 25% faster. So his 7-second proc, if it's 25% faster, I think it goes from 7 to a little like 5.25 seconds, if my math is right. And then when he's capped at 40% faster, it goes from 7 seconds to 4.2 seconds, I think. Mental math, 4.2 seconds. So he's getting these armor up buffs very quickly, allowing him to shrug off debuffs faster and maintain his durability. Second aspect is when below 40% health, Colossus no longer loses the armor buffs when shrugging debuffs. So, and also, all attacks have a 15 to 40% chance to cripple the opponent for 10 seconds. Crippled opponents have their attack reduced by 50 and 60% reduced power gain from all sources. So what this means is, when your back's against the wall, you got 40% health, you're not losing your armor buffs, you're staying tanky, and then when you're hitting the opponent, you have a chance to cripple them, allowing them to have reduced attack, which also aids in your durability, and then the reduced power gain also allows you to just keep pummeling into them and allowing them to get to special attacks so you can bait them out, and they're less likely with all the reduced power gain to get to a special 3. So I just feel like that fits with the motif of Colossus just being the tanky character that won't go down no matter what, and it's just a really tough fight. Now, I think this would be kind of tough if you place him on defense, but there's so many champions that deal direct damage that I feel like it wouldn't matter as much, and it would make him a pretty decent option as an offensive champion for a lot of things. So, just quick recap. So basically, Colossus gains these armor buffs very frequently. When he's awakened, it's even faster. He can shrug debuffs, he can go debuff immune, and he can stun and concuss his opponent, and then cripple his opponent. So tell me what you guys think. You guys think the concussion is too much? You guys think the signature ability is too much? Just let me know about your thoughts in the comments. And that is it, folks. Peace.